You can get DWe drum sounds plus cymbals and more, all within the V71 module. Hi, I'm Jules from Roland.
And I'm Jonathan, a DWe drum set artist.
So we're at Sweetwater with the DWe drum set. Since we're here, we thought it was an excellent opportunity to show the DWe with a Roland V71 module.
Right, I'm also going to do some playing, demo the kit, but we'll also explain why you would want to do that and the benefits of bringing a Roland module and the DWe drum set together.
So Jonathan, you're sat behind the DWe kit and there's an incredible Sweetwater video that explains all about what the kit is, but let's talk for a second about the sound source that we're hearing with this kit today.
So DWe was originally conceived as a wireless electronic drum set that doesn't need a module. There's a top-of-the-line VST called DWe Soundworks that has sampled many DWe drum sets in incredible detail. That software comes with the DWe and you run it from a laptop. The DWe kit connects wirelessly to the laptop and triggers the sounds from there.
I also know that a lot of electronic drum set players like the idea of using a VST on a computer, but similarly, I also know people that are a little bit nervous of using a laptop and prefer to use a module for simplicity.
Yeah, so a laptop with DWe Soundworks runs really high quality audio, which is great for home, studio use. You can take it out live too, but the laptop is more complex for getting multiple channel audio like kick and snares and toms out on separate channels so that your audio engineer can mix those separately. Plus, some people might be nervous about taking a laptop to a show in case it gets damaged or something.
Right, so the module is all about having a simpler setup that can work both online and offline and doesn't involve having the laptop. But what we have here in the setup today is a Roland V71 module with the DWe. And first, I just want to talk a little bit about how we're doing that. The DWe kit is supplied with the DrumLink wireless hub, which is essentially a receiver that picks up all of the wireless trigger signals from the pads. That can connect to a laptop, but it can also connect to a Roland V71, TD50X or TD27 drum sound module. So the Roland module is essentially picking up all of the wireless trigger pads and there's no need for any cables.
You can pair all the pads and cymbals to the module. And you can see the battery life, for instance, for each pad. You know exactly where they're at. All the trigger settings are configured too, so all you got to do is set it up and you're ready to play.
So now that we know how it's connected, let me just give you the very quick highlights on the module. The V71 has a core sound library within it, but things get really exciting when you connect it to Roland Cloud. In the cloud are many instrument expansions which bring in extra sounds, drums and cymbals. There are new releases all the time, but most of these releases come from the exact same sampling sessions that Jonathan talked about earlier. So you can get DWe drum sounds of some of the greatest drums plus cymbals and more, all within the V71 module. All of these expansions are managed and installed using a smartphone app, so it's very simple to add additional sounds within the V71. On the back of the module, there are a number of direct outputs which can be assigned to different channels. This means that the kick drum, the snare, toms and cymbals can all be separated and sent down individual channels, which is great for live and recording work. The V71 also allows deep and professional sound editing using the module or a desktop app, which is great for personalizing sounds and making them your own. I've barely scratched the surface here in terms of what the module can do, but Jonathan, why don't you play a little bit for us so we can hear how it sounds?
Sure, let's do it.
That sounds great. So why don't you tell us a little bit about actually what sounds we were hearing there?
So this is a DWe Pure Maple kit. It's actually the same exact kit that's inside of Soundworks. And what you're hearing is the exact same sampling session. The sounds have just been optimized for placing them inside of the Roland module.
I love your playing, man. So why don't you play a little bit more for us?
Cool, let's do it.
So tell us a little bit about that one.
Man, so this is a vintage Slingerland kit, and it's actually Don Lombardi's personal kit, his personal vintage Slingerland. And it's actually available right here in the module via Roland Cloud.
So there are many instrument expansions for the V71 in Roland Cloud right now, and there's also more being released. There's a whole roadmap of sounds yet to come. So should we briefly take a look at how this system works?
So the V71 module is here. There's no laptop. And the DWe DrumLink wireless hub is connected to one of the USB trigger inputs on the back of the module. This powers the hub, which shows in the module. And then you connect each of the pads to the hub just by tapping them once the module's in pair mode. And that's it. All you need is a module that's running a software update that allows the connection with the hub, which is available for free on Roland's website. And if a player is using the new DrumLink WT10 wireless trigger conversion system with the V cymbals, that'll also connect with the module too.
For the recording today, I know we're recording directly from the hardware outputs on the back, so we've got kick, snare, tom, cymbals, etc., all on individual channels, and we're also running the MIDI in parallel as well, right? And that works well, why?
Essentially, you're able to get separation. You're able to separate out your toms and your kick and snare and give your sound engineer all kinds of options. But you also have the option with this to run out USB with 32 channels of separation as well.
And now that Roland and DWe are working together, this synergy between the brands now means that the DWe kit can be used and even bought with a Roland sound module. Check out the detail on sweetwater.com of how to buy the two together, or contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. So Jonathan, could you play just a little bit more for us?